One guy I meant to ask about Monday, saw David Guster return and make a couple plays. I think he had a couple of pressures. It just seems like he's a guy that has steadily gotten better throughout the entire year and has kind of put himself in a good spot for, when the seniors graduate to be one of the top guys next year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, Gus is giving us a lot this year. One of those surprise guys. And I think that's a big thing as you go throughout a team and a season. You need some of those guys. But I also said 2 weeks ago, Christian Mejia played the best game I've ever seen him play. Last game I saw Antonio Pule play the best game I've ever seen him play. It's just fun for me to see those guys continue to improve. And, like I said, in the past, they've gotten a lot of heat about holding us back. Not even close. I mean, they're playing tough and physical and keeping the line of scrimmage flat. And, Gus is just different from a couple of those guys. He can make some big plays, and he's quick and he's strong and he's fast. So he had a productive game last week.
You mentioned Christian, and just look at the snap counts. It looked like he only played like 9 or 10. Yeah. Was he a little nicked up?
Christian was. He barely practiced all last week. He had a shoulder deal. And then just kind of as the way the game was going, we just kind of kept him out of there. And he, I just talked to him today. He said, Coach, I feel so much better. Right? So he'll be full strength, ready to go this week.
Just in regard to the offensive line, kind of any more knowledge of what it's going to look like with Maake or kind of what the situation will be there?
Maake's been limited. We haven't quite gotten him out there this week. We're going to try in the walkthrough tomorrow to see how it goes. But at the end of the day, we feel confident in Quinn and what he gave us last week, and we felt like we didn't miss a beat. We're still looking at the left tackle, because Christian Hilborn has gotten better and better and a little more firm out there. So we're still looking at who's going to be the best option at left tackle.
But if Maake can't go, it'll be Quinn at right guard.
It'll be Quinn. Yep, absolutely.
And just anything new on Jay Lee and Rob?
Rob practiced today, in a non-contact format, but looked great and looked fast and looked himself. I mean, those are the biggest things that I look for. No hesitations, no wincing. So I feel like Rob will be really good to go, and Jay Lee is still kind of that game-time decision.
A lot's been made about Shaw this year and how he's, really emerging as one of the better cornerbacks in the Pac-12.
One of the best.
What'd you say?
One of the best corners in the Pac-12, yes.
Derek Langford's probably coming off his best game of the season. Just as you get into these passing offenses, you get into Arizona, you get into Washington, two teams that can really throw around the ball. I mean, how much does it ease your guys' job of what you can plan, what you can scheme when you've got two corners at the top of their game?
I mean, I just think it's everything, and I've been there. I've been calling those plays, and when you feel like no matter what you call, when they get singled up out there, they're going to handle the job. And we'll be challenged these next 2 weeks. And Arizona's vertical pass game, they have a willingness to do it. They want to do it, and they plan out, to do it. So there'll be shots. Number 4 has been phenomenal. 5 has been the speed guy over the top. 2 in the slot. But I think those guys are ready for this challenge. So they've risen to the occasion, Jamie, almost every game to a level that I haven't seen too many times. So they've answered the bell and they've played clean. Half the time you get PIs on those things. So they've been playing clean, and credit to those guys and their work ethic.
I asked Brendan and Nakia yesterday about who were a couple freshmen that had really impressed them, not including guys like Leighton and Jalen. Yeah. They both said Javen Robinson and John Mateer. Just what have you seen from those two guys in particular? If you got two guys complimenting those guys,
that means they're paying attention, and they're seeing the same things that we're seeing. I just think John, intangible pieces are off the charts starting there, and then physical tools. I mean, every week, and that Stanford game just gave him a little bit more life. Even in practice, you feel him just confident and delivering the ball, and he's got such a quick trigger, and he's just so different. So it's exciting to see his growth as a young quarterback. And Javen just has that competitive streak to him. And I think as an older player, those guys gravitate towards it. So we still have 2 games left with Javen to play. We want to get him out there. I think that bowl prep into a bowl game will be huge for him. So I anticipate him being one of those Shaw-type players as he goes throughout his career, and get him on the field next year, 20 to 40 snaps, and then all of a sudden year 3, 4, you're like, dang, this guy's one of the better players in his league.
That's who Brendan compared him to. Said he reminds him of Shaw a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the offensive line, there's been so many changes. You've got the injuries. You've got guys moving around. How much would you credit Connor Gomnes kind of in the middle, holding that thing together?
He's the anchor. I mean, he's just the anchor. He's the anchor mentality-wise. He's the anchor leadership-wise. And we put a lot on our center, too. I mean, this is a scheme where he sets the protection. He sets the targets in the run game. I mean, him and Coach McGuire, extra meetings, make sure they're on point. Like, the mind with Cam and Connor got to be on the same deal. So, that's the one position at least that we've had extreme consistency with. And, we can move pieces around him, but moving that centerpiece is hard. So, like I said, Connor is the glue to all 5. And I think that's the important, the most important piece.
Last 5 games, I think it's 5 games now. Cam's thrown just 1 pick, and it went off a receiver's hands. Early in the season, he was, there was a couple interceptions, and it seemed like, maybe some tougher decisions. But what have you seen from his decision making to limit those interceptions and not give away the ball, and not have those momentum go?
I think it starts with just the maturity factor, right, and getting used to this level and what it takes and making decisions. The other part I think is a big distinction is the protection. It has gotten better. So you see a lot less Cam Ward, wild scrambles, all over the place things, and I think he's making good decisions, when he's out there. But I always want to make sure, and I tell him each and every week, go out there and pull the trigger. No hesitation. And we understand when he plays a certain way that he needs to play, sometimes those things will happen. But we can also make tremendously big plays off of it. And we'll need that this week.
Just realized that I haven't asked about Renard back this week, back next week. What's kind of his status?
Renard looks great. I think he's going to be 100% for this week, ready to go. He'll have a little bit lesser role than his normal full-time role because he's building back into it. But man, fresh legs are good to see. And I just tell him he's like a bolt of lightning in yellow across the field right now. So Renard's mentality is unbelievable, okay? And this was a tough injury to deal with, a receiver. But to get back in the way he has and his want to, like I said, it's the best medicine out there. And his leadership has grown so much throughout the year. And to have him back, that presence, it's going to be like a Nakia type comeback as far as like what he brings just intangible-wise. When he's out there, everyone looks at him and like, hey, there's that alpha dog, right? And that's what Renard is. So we're excited to have him back.
Sure, relieved to get him back from the standpoint of the playing field, but how relieved are you that he gets to finish out his career and doesn't have to watch the last couple of games from the sideline?
I think it's everything. I think it's everything to him, too. Guys like that, Renard has given so much to this program, and it's special to watch. It's special to me. He wanted to stick around. He wanted to finish it here. He wanted to, be part of what we wanted to do and keep building our program. And I think that's the biggest thing. I'm proud of Renard. Right, I really am, and what he's given us is tremendous, and what he's given this university, not a lot of people think about it that way sometimes. I mean, this kid has done a lot, and just proud of him and excited to keep him finishing his career out.